When David first laid eyes on Maria, he was immediately captivated by her beauty. She had an aura of grace and charm that drew everyone towards her. Their courtship was like a fairy tale filled with laughter, romantic dinners, and shared dreams of a future together. David was over the moon when Maria accepted his proposal, and their wedding was a grand celebration of their love, attended by family and friends who all remarked on what a stunning couple they made. However, as the weeks turned into months, David began to notice subtle changes in Maria's behavior. She became increasingly withdrawn and secretive. Late-night phone calls and mysterious outings started to become more frequent. When David inquired, Maria would brush off his concerns with vague explanations or tell him not to worry. One evening, David decided to follow Maria, driven by a nagging suspicion that he couldn't shake off. He felt guilty for doubting her, but needed to know what was going on. To his shock, he discovered that Maria had been meeting with a man he had never seen before. His heart sank, and a myriad of questions flooded his mind. Confronting Maria that night, David braced himself for the truth. He couldn't have prepared for what he was about to hear. Maria confessed, tears streaming down her face, that the man was her brother, whom she had been estranged from for years due to a complicated family feud. She had kept it a secret, fearing David's reaction and not wanting to drag him into her family's issues. The real shock, however, came when Maria revealed that she was also battling a severe illness, one she had hidden from everyone, including David. She had been seeing her brother because he was the only family she had left, and she needed his support to navigate her treatments and the emotional toll it was taking on her. Maria didn't want to burden David with her illness, believing she could manage it on her own until she couldn't any longer. David was stunned, his mind reeling from the revelations. He felt a mix of emotions: betrayal, sadness, and an overwhelming sense of love and compassion for Maria. He realized that the woman he adored was going through unimaginable pain and had been trying to protect him in her own way. From that moment on, David resolved to stand by Maria's side, no matter how tough the journey ahead would be. He reassured her that they would face her illness together, as a team. The shock of his life had indeed turned their world upside down, but it also brought them closer, revealing the depth of their commitment to each other. Together, they embarked on a new chapter, one filled with challenges, but also with a renewed sense of love and determination. In the following weeks, David and Maria's lives took on a new rhythm. Mornings that once began with casual breakfasts and light-hearted conversations were now filled with discussions about doctor's appointments, treatment plans, and the latest research on Maria's illness. Despite the somber turn their lives had taken, their bond grew stronger. David became Maria's steadfast rock, providing her with unwavering support and love. Maria started her treatments, which included a combination of medication, therapy, and regular hospital visits. The side effects were grueling nausea, fatigue, and bouts of depression became frequent intruders in their lives. But David was always there, holding Maria's hand through the worst of it, reminding her that she wasn't alone. One afternoon, as they sat together in the hospital waiting room, Maria turned to David with a vulnerable look in her eyes. "David, I need to tell you something else," she said softly. David's heart skipped a beat, fearing more bad news. "What is it, love?" he asked, gently squeezing her hand. Maria took a deep breath. "I've been thinking a lot about our future. I know this illness has changed so much for us, and I can't help but feel guilty. You deserve so much more than this than me." Tears welled up in her eyes as she spoke. David was taken aback. He had never considered leaving Maria or regretted their marriage, not for a single moment. He pulled her closer and looked into her eyes. "Maria, you are my world. Illness or not, nothing will change my love for you. We vowed to be together in sickness and in health, and I intend to keep that promise. We are in this together, and I will never let you go through this alone." Maria's tears turned into sobs of relief, and she clung to David, feeling his love and strength envelop her. That moment marked a turning point in their relationship. They decided to focus on the positives and cherish every moment they had together. They began to find joy in the small things, watching sunsets, cooking together, and even just sitting in silence, holding each other's hand. The months passed, and though the road was tough, they navigated it with resilience and hope. They sought joy in their shared moments, finding solace in their love and determination to face each challenge head-on. One day, as David was helping Maria into bed after a particularly exhausting treatment, she smiled weakly at him. "You know," she said, her voice filled with affection, "I never thought I'd find someone who would stand by me like this. You've given me more strength than I ever thought I had." David kissed her forehead gently. "And you've given me a reason to be strong," he replied. Together, we can get through anything. As Maria's condition fluctuated, they adapted their lives to accommodate her needs. David took on more responsibilities, juggling work with caring for Maria. His colleagues and friends noticed his dedication and often offered their support, reminding him that he wasn't alone in this journey. Maria's brother, once a distant figure, became a more prominent part of their lives. He frequently visited, bringing laughter and stories from their childhood, providing both Maria and David with much-needed emotional support. Slowly, David's initial mistrust gave way to a deep appreciation for the bond Maria shared with her brother. The couple also sought out support groups, where they met others who were going through similar struggles. These meetings provided a sense of community and understanding, helping them to cope with the emotional weight of Maria's illness. They made new friends, shared their experiences, and found comfort in knowing they were not alone. One evening, after a particularly uplifting support group session, David surprised Maria with a small bouquet of her favorite flowers. "What's the occasion?" she asked, her eyes lighting up with delight. David smiled. "Just wanted to remind you how much you mean to me," he said. "Even on the hardest days, you bring so much light into my life." Tears filled Maria's eyes as she hugged him. "Thank you, David, for everything." As they continued to navigate the challenges of Maria's illness, they also began to dream again. They talked about the future, making plans for the things they wanted to do once Maria's health improved. They dreamed of traveling to new places, trying new activities, and simply enjoying life together. Their unwavering love and commitment to each other became an inspiration to those around them. Friends and family often remarked on their strength and the depth of their bond. David and Maria's journey was a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the human spirit. Years later, looking back on this challenging period, they would remember it not just for the hardships, but for the profound love that carried them through. Maria's health eventually stabilized, and though they knew the road ahead would always have its uncertainties, they faced it with a renewed sense of hope and togetherness. Their story, filled with unexpected twists and turns, ultimately became one of triumph, not because they overcame every obstacle, but because they faced them together, hand in hand, with unwavering love and determination. As Maria's health began to stabilize, their lives gradually returned to a semblance of normalcy. The once dreaded hospital visits became less frequent, and they started to reclaim their days, filling them with activities that brought them joy and a sense of fulfillment. One crisp autumn morning, David woke up with a spark of excitement. He had been planning a special surprise for Maria. After she finished her breakfast, he handed her a small, wrapped box. "What's this?" Maria asked, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. "Open it and find out," David replied, unable to hide his grin. Inside the box, Maria found 2 plane tickets and a brochure for a picturesque coastal town known for its serene beaches and vibrant culture. "We're going on a trip," she exclaimed, her face lighting up with joy. David nodded. "Yes, I thought we could use a getaway, just the 2 of us. We've been through so much, and I wanted us to have some time to relax and enjoy life." Tears of happiness filled Maria's eyes. "David, this is wonderful, thank you," Their trip turned out to be everything they needed and more. They strolled along the sandy beaches, hand in hand, with the waves gently lapping at their feet. They explored the charming town, sampling local delicacies and immersing themselves in the vibrant culture. Each moment felt like a cherished memory in the making, a celebration of their resilience and love. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the ocean, David and Maria sat on a blanket, watching the breathtaking view. Maria leaned her head on David's shoulder. "This is perfect," she whispered. "Thank you for bringing me here." David wrapped his arm around her, holding her close. "You deserve the world, Maria. I'm just glad I can give you a piece of it." As the days turned into weeks, their trip became a tapestry of beautiful moments that reminded them of the strength of their love and the joy of being together. They returned home with hearts full of gratitude and memories that would last a lifetime. Back in their daily routine, David and Maria continued to find joy in the little things. They discovered new hobbies together, like gardening and painting, activities that brought them peace and allowed them to express their creativity. Their home blossomed with vibrant flowers and colorful artworks, each piece a testament to their shared journey. Maria's brother remained a constant presence in their lives, his support unwavering. The three of them often spent evenings together, sharing stories, laughter, and a sense of unity that had grown stronger over time. As Maria's health continued to improve, they decided to give back to the community that had supported them during their toughest times. They started volunteering at local charities, helping other families facing similar challenges. Their experiences allowed them to offer empathy and encouragement, their stories serving as a beacon of hope for others. Years passed, and David and Maria's love only deepened. They celebrated each anniversary with a renewed sense of gratitude, marking the milestones of their journey with joy and reflection. They had faced tremendous challenges, but their love had not only endured but flourished. One warm summer evening, as they sat on their porch, watching the fireflies dance in the twilight, David took Maria's hand. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" he said, his voice filled with emotion. Maria smiled, her eyes shimmering with tears of happiness. "Yes, we have, and I wouldn't trade a single moment of it. You've been my rock, my partner, and my greatest love. I'm so grateful for you, David." David kissed her gently. "And I'm grateful for you, Maria. Our love is the greatest adventure of my life." As they sat together, their hearts beating in unison, they knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together. Their love story, filled with unexpected twists and turns, had become a testament to the power of resilience, hope, and the enduring strength of love.